Hello, and welcome to Chapter 14, The Drone Perspective. When humans, like other animals, experience distress or a threat, there is a tendency to narrow our attention and focus on that threat, real or imagined. There's survival value in this. If I'm truly in an unsafe situation, I'm going to want to have all my attention focused on that situation so that I can deal with it effectively. For example, if I'm walking across an icy parking lot in winter, I'm going to be focusing carefully on each step so that I don't slip and fall. When you're teaching your teen to drive, you're probably watching their every move like a hawk, much to their annoyance. Fortunately, most of the time, we're not in serious danger. More often than not, we're experiencing anxiety about some imagined future event that isn't here and that we're not in. That is the nature of anxiety. It's about anticipating and demanding we pay attention to what's being anticipated. Then we become distressed and distracted from life in the moment. With some effort, we can shift our attention away from the anxiety and attend to what would actually be most helpful in a given situation. With practice, this shifting of our attention becomes easier. Shifting our attention often starts with a pulling back from that narrow view and taking in the whole of our current situation to see what the relevant factors are, what the present situation actually calls for, and how best to respond. I sometimes imagine that I have a third eye that I can raise up in my imagination on an antenna-like thing from the top of my head. From there, I can see the bigger picture. These days, we might think of a drone that floats above us and provides us a wider perspective. Let's see what that might look like. First, we need something to get our anxious, narrow attention going. How about this thought? This is going to be a disaster. Sounds bad. And when I'm tightly focused on this thought, it is overwhelming and there is nothing else but it. So it must be true and important. It is going to be a disaster. Now, let's try pulling back. Here I am sitting at my desk. Need to be more mindful of my posture. Getting a little thin back there. And there's that book I need to finish so I can get it back to the library. And oh yes, there's that thought, this is going to be a disaster. What was that all about? Oh yeah, I was feeling stuck on what to say for this article I agreed to write. It's too long, and I don't know how to cut it, or how to finish it. And the deadline is coming up. Ugh. Well, I've sat at this desk for many years now, solved many problems, even survived a few disasters. I did make a commitment, and that matters to me. It may very well be a disaster, and I need to see this through. Maybe I'll email Sherry and bounce some ideas off her. Deep breath. Back in we go. With this broader perspective, I may not have gotten rid of that "this is going to be a disaster" idea, and I may continue to experience all the other unpleasant emotions and sensations associated with anxiety. And I'm not just distracting myself from the anxiety or the situation. The difference is that I'm taking that step back to regain my composure, to remind myself that I am in fact a capable person, and to access more flexible and helpful ways of responding. That might include putting off a decision or getting help. In this case, I decided to push on. In another situation, I might have decided to change course. But that decision, one way or the other, would be made based on the larger picture and important factors such as my values, and not having my decisions determined solely by anxious thoughts and feelings. That's what we call psychological flexibility. Of course, we don't have a drone or a third eye to view life with. But in the week ahead, try playing with this idea of a drone perspective. To take a step back, check in with what's important to you, and see the range of possibilities for how to respond to your teen's anxiety and to your own. Thanks for watching.